Hello, my subbies. Vikatesinen hoita. Today I'd like to talk to you about industrial piercings. But first, my hair. Where did I get it done, you ask? At Cuddy Styles, and Steven did it. So he is on Facebook. Look him up. Indigo, because he is awesome. Okay. To the procedure of industrial piercings. Okay. It hurt. It hurt, let me tell you. Out of all the piercings that I've had, this one hurt the worst. Give it 9.5 out of 10. Don't let that scare you. I mean, I have a high tolerance for pain, and that did hurt, but you could have an even higher tolerance. You never know. But it looks amazing. Look at that. It puts together the whole look of the ear, in my opinion, anyway, and I just love the black bar. I was pierced with a 13 gauge needle instead of the typical 14. Because the piercer that was supervising my piercer decided that that would look the best. And my piercer, May, who used me as a guinea pig, also agreed, and because the bar was long enough to contribute, with swelling and everything else, and it would, now it shifts and moves because the swelling has gone down. So ice down your piercing, people, when you first get it, because if you really do tend to swell, especially before you go to bed, because your body temperature goes up, you will have some swelling, and you want to make sure that bar doesn't fit that snug, because it will hurt. You will hear a popping noise. This is the first time, I actually have heard popping before, but not that bad. But the bottom part was fine. The top part, where the ridges at the top, hurt the worst. I really had to do yoga breathing and breathe through, and she had to really press, and it went right through. But if I hadn't been breathing, oh boy. So make sure that you inhale and exhale when you're getting this done, because that really does help. And you could do that with any other piercing that you have. Yoga breathing really does center you, and try to keep your mind preoccupied, because if you're focusing on this, you could also make the pain much worse. A lot of things are in your head. Remember that. But cleaning, it's a bit more upkeep than with usual piercings, because you have to not only clean the top and the bottom, but the insides as well. So you're going to have to take about 4 Q-tips and really soap them up and get everything. Also, when you're sleeping, that can be problematic, because you can't sleep really on this side for a few days. Even now, I'm having trouble sleeping on this side. But get a travel pillow if you really like sleeping on this side, or whatever side you get, and use it, because travel pillows really help too. And yeah, but just try not to sleep on it, because ouch. You don't want to make the swelling worse. Let's just say that. Let's see. Knocking. I haven't really had a problem with knocking. Even getting my hair cut, I got it before I got my hair cut, but it wasn't that bad. But I did tell my stylist ahead of time what was going on, that it was fairly new, and he, managed to work around the piercing. So that was nice. Also, when I was careful when I was brushing my hair, when I had my hair around the area and everything, and I'd pin it back with bobby pins, because all of the moisture or anything in your hair or the oils will get into the piercing, and 9 times out of 10, that's what causes the keloids. If you're bumping it, knocking it, which it's a high traffic area really if you think about it, if you're bumping and knocking as well and you're getting the oil in, you're going to get a bump. So you could use tea tree oil to help that, and H2 Ocean Spray really, really helps. I've used it on piercings that I've been doing sea salt soaks on instead to save time, and it's actually making them heal quite fast. So it's really, really great. So anytime you hit your piercing or you accidentally touch it, because I've accidentally touched this piercing quite a lot, it's amazing how, like I said, it's high traffic and you wouldn't think that, but it is easy to do that. So if you spray it down, H2 Ocean is sterile, so it kills any germs and it helps fight infections. So spray it down, just make sure it's clean. Don't really, really over clean it, but typically for H2Ocean spray, they recommend 3 to 6 times a day, so I don't think anybody's going to be spraying more than 6 anyway. Plus, you want to save what's in the bottle, so that helps. And it saves time. And like I said, tea tree oil will help, but use that maybe once a day instead of twice or more because it's more harsh than hydrogen peroxide, and it will cause you to, either the bump will get worse if you use too much because it's drying out your healing piercing, and your piercing is not able to produce the cells that it needs to heal the piercing. So, and don't use it on new piercings that have no problems because it will cause a problem because you're drying out your piercing. So just be careful. Soap twice a day and sea salt 3 times a day. Just remember that formula and you are good to go. Pros and cons. Let's see. It looks cool. I mean, look at this. It just makes the whole look come together. I know that the rest of my piercings are like a light color except for the third hole hoops, but it does look good. There's also a lot of jewelry that comes with industrial piercings. I mean, even at the shop that I go to, there's tons to choose from, so I really don't have a problem with that, and I don't have to size up. If you can go with the 14 and you don't see a lot of jewelry available for the 16, I'd suggest you go with the 14. I did it because I wanted this really great bar. And yeah, and sizing up, I just didn't want to do that. Unless you really like pain and you want to do it again, but for me that just means more healing time and more stress on your ear, so not for me. But I am excited about the jewelry choices that I get to make once it heals after about 6 months. It takes about a whole year for it to fully heal because it is cartilage. Cartilage takes a long time. I took out my previous cartilage piercing because it was not healing, and I had it for about a year and a half. Would not heal, so took it out, and it was rejecting because I had stopped using my H2Ocean and thought it was healing and was playing with it and, you know, all that bad stuff. So yeah, but it just takes a really long time. So sometimes your body, and it depends on the person, sometimes the body just doesn't like it and it just rejects. And it's not going to, sometimes it doesn't push it out or anything, it just doesn't accept it, and it just really, really hurts. So if it really hurts after about a year, that might be a warning sign. So go to your piercer right away, talk to them about it, and see what you can do. Typically, they'll take it out and re-pierce it for free, so there's that. But remember, cartilage piercings do take a long time, and you have to consider the scar tissue. The one that I took out still hasn't fully healed, but it does look a lot better than it did. It's 2 piercings in one, really, because if you take out the bar, it's a cuff piercing, really, and then, you know, you got your cartilage over here. So, yeah. I mean, what's not to like? Plus, the bar just looks really neat. Let's see, cons, the dedication and the cleaning, really. I could really only think about that, maybe pain, you know, through the sleeping and the knocking, but if you're really dedicated to piercings already, and I don't know, and you just want something to spice it up, it's a really good piercing to have because, not that it's low maintenance or anything, it is kind of high maintenance in terms of, because it is 2 piercings in one, but I mean, it looks really nice and it just gives a little edge to your ear. And if you're willing to take the time and, you know, clean it and everything, why not? I mean, that's why a lot of people do it anyway. That's why people get tattoos, that's why people get piercings, because they like it and they're willing to take the time out of their day, you know, to clean it properly and to take care of it. So, yeah, not a big deal. It's awesome. Get it if you can. I really highly recommend this piercing. And yeah, just have lots of aspirin with you. That's one key thing. It'll bring down, ibuprofen really helps bring down swelling, so make sure it's something like Advil, or just, you know, find some ibuprofen at the store. And lots of water, even ice water helps. Things like that. They really contribute to a healthy healthy piercing and just being healthy in general, not smoking, not drinking, just waiting until it heals. It will take a very long time with the cartilage piercing, but just be patient and just see how it progresses and if the pain goes down. I barely have any pain unless I really pull on my ear or move it around, but that's just a sign that it's healthy and that what I'm doing is working thus far. So yeah, I highly recommend it and go for it. So goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.